Hey, good morning, class. Welcome in. We are going to start our third discussion on ancient Greece. We've looked at geography, we've looked at mythology, we've looked at Athens and Sparta. Well, now we're going to take a look at war. And we're going to take a look at how Athens and Sparta and all the other Greek city states are going to unite and fight against an external threat. So let's get into that today, and we'll continue forward with our ancient Greek discussions. All right, here we go. So, with Sparta constantly at odds with, remember, the Helots, who were people that they had enslaved, and also the Athenians having constant democratic issues, the main danger out of all of this was an ongoing threat from the Persians. Now, the Persians are going to come in from the Middle East. This is going to be a situation where the empire is trying to expand westward. They're trying to go as far west as Greece, and that's what they're looking at obtaining. So the Greeks are going to have to figure out ways to defend against this ongoing threat. All right, during the Dorian Age, only the rich would serve in the military. Okay, this is when the bronze was the main weaponry. However, once iron replaces bronze, all right, what does this allow for the Greeks to do? Well, it allows the middle and lower classes to participate in war. So not only are the rich going, but you also have everyone going, and you're able to have more participation in the militaries. Okay. With these militaries, one of the earliest known formations, all right, for soldiers, and this is going to be important, side-by-side formation known as a phalanx. Okay, and the phalanx is going to essentially be shoulder to shoulder, spear in one hand and the shield in the other. And these phalanxes are going to be designed to protect, to attack, and to retreat. Okay, and they're gonna find success with these military formations. Um, we're going to find a common concept and a theme in today's lecture and discussion, and that's war. And as I always tell my students, war is three things. All right, war, it kills people, it's going to cost money, it's going to change everything. We're going to see some major changes to the ancient Greeks here because of it, and that's what we're going to get into. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Persian Wars. All right, the Persian Wars between the Greeks and the Persians began in Ionia, and this is off the coast of Anatolia. Okay, the Greeks had long settled there. All right, they had been there for a very long time, but around 546 BC, the Persians are starting to conquer the area. They're moving in. All right, and the Greeks are becoming a little bit alarmed by this. All right, when the Ionian Greeks, when they revolted, all right, Athens basically sent soldiers to their aid. The Persian king at the time, King Darius the Great, crushed these rebels and essentially vowed to defeat Athens in revenge. So, in 490 BC, a fleet of 25,000 Persian landed on Athens at a location known as Marathon. Okay, keep that in mind. Outnumbered, the Athenian forces used their phalanx tactics to defeat the Persians. Okay, the Persians were undisciplined. They lacked proper armor. They lacked proper strategy, and this was no match for the situation for the Athenian forces. All right, in total, the Persians would lose about 6,000 troops, and the Athenians would only lose about 200. So, a well-coordinated play by those from Athens. Though the Athenians won the battle, all right, their city was now defenseless. All right, they essentially left their city. It became vulnerable, and according to tradition, what we see in this particular history, the army leaders chose a young runner by the name of Phidippides. All right, to race back to Athens with the news. All right, he brought the news to Athens from Marathon. So Marathon to Athens, a 26-mile trek. All right, rejoice, we conquered. All right, was the message. He then collapsed and died. All right, this is the origin of the marathon run that modern cultures have embraced. All right, so maybe your family, maybe you're a runner. This is where we get marathon from. All right, the Greeks were able to move rapidly. All right, from Marathon to Athens and successfully defended Athens against the Persians. But these battles are going to be ongoing. Okay, in 480 BC, all right, Darius the Great's son, Xerxes, all right, assembled a massive Persian force to attack the Greeks. This time, the city-states were at odds with one another. Okay, some wanted to defend against Xerxes, while others felt it was impossible. It was impossible to do. They wanted Xerxes to destroy Athens and then leave them alone. Okay, so Xerxes met no he had no resistance as he marched down the eastern part of Greece. So he's able to take what he wants, attack when he wants, and essentially obliterate the Greeks that were in his way. However, at a narrow pass at a location known as Thermopylae, Xerxes was met head-on by 7,000 Greeks. These were led by 300 Spartans. All right, now Spartan warriors are going to be the toughest of anyone had ever seen. All right, they're going to fight to the death. They're going to attack, and they're going to hit you, and they're going to essentially vow to never surrender. All right, the Greeks they're going to stop Xerxes in his tracks. So he's pushing through, and all of a sudden he gets into this mountain pass, and these resilient 300 Spartans are able to stop that progression. All right, yet underneath all of this, all right, there was a betrayal. And a Greek traitor by the name of Ephialtes. Ephialtes is going to be the traitor. He's going to lead the Persians through a secret passage. All right. The Persians, using this access, are going to destroy the Greek forces. All right, including every single Spartan. Okay. However, this left a strong impression on the rest of the Greeks. All right. Now the Greeks are going to go back to the drawing board. So remember, rivalry between the city-states, but all of a sudden, hey, the Spartans are willing to sacrifice themselves for the better cause of Greece, and Sparta gets better recognition and is on better terms with the other city-states because of this. Okay, so who's going to lead that charge in the 300? It's going to be King Leonidas. Okay, he's going to be the king who's going to lead that defense, and this has been depicted in graphic novels. It's been depicted in movies with the 300. That's what became most famous. But even like Michigan State, they still take elements from this 300 story and they use it in some of their promotions. So in itself, again, this is a monumental battle for the history of ancient Greece. So this whole era, these Persian wars are going to come to an end. All right. Themistocles, who they talked about in the video documentary, he was an Athenian leader. All right. He's going to convince, at the time, Athens to evacuate the city and fight at sea. All right. The Athenians position their fleet, and they're going to be near the island of Salamis. So this is going to be the Battle of Salamis. After setting fire to Athens, Xerxes wanted to block both ends of the channel near Salamis. Okay. The channel, though, was too narrow. All right. Smaller Greek ships, this smaller, more agile fleet, was able to puncture the larger Persian ships, and Xerxes is going to lose over a third of his ships, and the Persians are devastated. Xerxes is going to face another defeat at Plataea in 479 BC, and the Persians were now on the defensive. All right, the Greeks are going to form an alliance. This alliance is going to be known as the Delian League. All right, this coalition would defeat and repel the Persians for decades. So they're going to constantly have to fight wave after wave of Persian attacks. But the Delian League is going to find success, and out of all of this, Athens is going to emerge as the leading city-state in Greece. Okay? But this is going to lead into a rivalry between Athens and Sparta. But, again, some very intriguing, important wars. Greeks defending themselves against the Persians and becoming more united, in a sense, against a common foe and a common enemy. All right? Well, hey, we're going to have a little journal log on this, and we're going to take a look at these Persian wars. Continue working on your projects. You guys have been doing a great job, and I'll see you around. Bye.